Prepare for human origins. Welcome back to Season 2.
Welcome to your dose of wowness. This is day 93, the third part of our human origins arc. And today, we are going somewhere deeply unsettling. This explainer isn't just going to rewrite a timeline. It challenges the very core of who we think we are. I want you to picture this. You are 30 meters underground. It is pitch black. The year is 2013, and you are deep inside the Rising Star cave system in South Africa. The heat down there, it's absolutely oppressive, just radiating straight from the rock. There is zero airflow. The silence is absolute. You are completely and utterly cut off from the surface world. Now, just to get to where you are standing, you had to force your body through some terrifyingly narrow spaces. First, you dragged yourself through the Superman's crawl. This is a slot just 30 centimeters high. You literally have to lay perfectly flat on your belly, arms extended tight above your head, moving forward by agonizing inches. And then it gets worse. You hit the dragon's back, a near-vertical 12-meter rock chute that pinches down to just 18 centimeters wide. You are actively squeezing your chest, scraping your back against the rock, just to reach the bottom. But when you finally drop down into this hidden spot, the Naledi chamber, your headlamp sweeps across a secret underground floor that is literally covered in ancient hominin bones. Hundreds of them. Teeth, skulls, hand bones, ribs, all just resting there in the dark. So let's talk about the people who actually excavated this chamber, because they were uniquely suited for this intense job. When lead researcher Lee Berger realized standard excavators physically couldn't fit through those passages, he put out a very specific public call. He needed highly trained scientists who are small-framed, resistant to claustrophobia, and willing to work in total isolation. And from that call, we got the underground astronauts: Marina Elliott, Alia Gertoff, Hannah Morris, Becca Pexoto, Ellen Feuerregel, and Lindsay Eves. 6 small-bodied women who endured extreme heat and humidity, working purely by headlamp, communicating with the surface via a live video feed. They literally passed individual fossil fragments hand to hand up that terrifying 12-meter chute. Together, they retrieved over 1,555 fossil elements. Just feel the profound weight of that for a second. What it means to unearth a completely unknown species in that utter darkness. Marina Elliott, one of those 6 scientists, captured the sheer emotion of holding a fossil down there. She described holding a hand that bore wrist and finger proportions unlike any previously known hominin, in a place no human had been before. Think about that. These bones were passed up through solid rock to people who could not physically go down to see what was being retrieved. The story of this species is completely inseparable from the brilliant people who brought it into the light. Section 6. The Mosaic Anatomy Puzzle. A creature that defies categories. So the creature they pulled from that cave was formerly named Homo naledi, and its physical structure immediately presented this massive scientific puzzle. The anatomical contradictions are totally stark. On one hand, you have primitive traits, a brain the size of your closed fist, which is roughly a third of ours, and shoulders that are clearly oriented for climbing trees. But on the other hand, it has highly derived modern traits. It has feet that are nearly indistinguishable from modern human feet, perfectly built for efficient upright walking. And the hands, they have long, curved fingers, yet possess a thumb and wrist structure highly capable of precision grip and tool use. So you have a hominin with a tiny brain, but legs built to walk like us and hands built to work like us. It defies every simple category we have. Section 8. The 2017 dating shock, a disrupted timeline. Now, because of those highly primitive features, especially that small brain, scientists initially made a pretty logical assumption. They assumed these bones must be profoundly ancient, right? Like maybe up to 2 million years old. But then came the results in 2017. Using 3 independent dating methods, including uranium-thorium dating on the flowstone directly bracketing the fossils, the numbers came back. 236,000 to 335,000 years ago. Let that number sink in. Homo naledi was not some ancient, long-extinct ancestor.
And this brings up a reality that just stops the field cold. Homo naledi was a contemporary. It was living during the Middle Stone Age, sharing the exact same landscape in southern Africa with the earliest known members of our own species, Homo sapiens. I mean, imagine these 2 radically different species sharing the exact same continent at the exact same time. It sparks such intense curiosity, doesn't it? Did they know about each other? Did they interact?
Section 11. Contested Claims, the 2023 eLife Papers. Well, if sharing the landscape wasn't enough, things escalated massively just recently. In June 2023, Lee Berger and his team published a series of explosive claims asserting that Homo naledi engaged in deliberate mortuary behavior, basically meaning they intentionally excavated shallow depressions to bury their dead. And it goes further. The researchers reported finding geometric crosshatch engravings on the cave walls, arguing that this small-brained species actually created them. However, looking at this objectively, we absolutely have to weigh the serious scientific critiques coming from the broader community. Independent researchers argue these oval depressions could easily result from natural cave settling or sediment dissolution. And regarding the engravings, critics stress the absolute need for direct surface dating of the marks themselves, just to prove they weren't left by later Homo sapiens who might have wandered into the cave.
The evidence supporting these claims is honestly compelling. There are no carnivore gnaw marks on the bones, no evidence of water washing bodies into the chamber, and there's overlying flowstone that constrains the minimum age of some engravings, but the challenges are equally real. Bodies can shift into flexed positions post-mortem, and natural geology is highly capable of mimicking graves. We are going to hold this debate entirely open today. We aren't here to solve it. But you really have to understand how astronomically high the philosophical stakes are here. If a hominin with a brain a third the size of ours was repeatedly navigating a pitch-black labyrinth to practice symbolic thought and intentionally bury its dead, then everything we assume about cognition is wrong.
Section 14. Where is the line? Redefining humanity.
To fully solve the puzzle of Homo naledi, we desperately need ancient DNA. But so far, the warm, humid environment of the rising star system has destroyed any genetic material we've tried to extract. Without it, we just don't know exactly where they fit on our family tree. So what is the threshold? What does the species have to do or be to count as thus? I want to take a moment right now to express my deepest gratitude to you for joining me on this heavy philosophical journey today. We have crawled through the dark claustrophobia of day 93 together, sitting with the profound weight of a species that forces us to question our own uniqueness. You've embraced the massive uncertainty and the genuine mystery of the rising star cave, and I thank you so much for being here for it. But the line of what we thought we knew keeps moving. Tomorrow, for day 94, we are leaving Africa and heading to Asia to meet the Red Deer cave people. These were archaic-looking humans with thick brow ridges and rounded brain cases who survived until just 11,500 years ago, long after the last ice age ended. Their bones are real, their age is confirmed, and their story is almost entirely unknown outside of specialist literature. Day 94. See you there.